Hello fellow cine enthusiasts, my name is Christina and welcome to another Let's Get Reelz movie review. Today is Classic Movie Thursdays on my channel, my version of Throwback Thursdays. Today's movie I will be reviewing for you is Carnival of Souls from 1962. Carnival of Souls was a request by a new YouTube subscriber to my channel and a now frequent commenter, Paul Beauparlant. I sincerely apologize for screwing up your name, but Paul left this in the comments of one of my videos. Carnival of Souls is a really interesting movie. It is a B movie all the way, but it's such a good movie. The story begins with these two cars racing. One car is filled with girls, one car is filled with guys, and they race over the bridge, but the girl's car actually veers off and goes over the bridge into the water. And it takes a really, really long time for them to find the car. Somebody comments that they're like, oh, it's been 3 hours, I doubt we'll find anything. And then right after that, one of the girls in the car, Mary Henry, comes out, and everybody's like, oh my god, she's alive, she's alive. But Mary is not really the same as she used to be. Somebody in the town comments that they're like, well, she hasn't been the same since that crash. Mary is an organist for church. She doesn't really believe in religion or anything like that. She just gets paid to play the organ. The priest of the church actually comments to Mary. He says, it takes more than intellect to be a musician. You have to put your soul into it. Ooh, one clue right there in the movie. Mary is offered another job in another town, so she drives, I believe it's to Utah, and as she's driving, she passes by this old bathhouse, and this bathhouse just like seems to pull her in. She cannot take her eyes off of it. She notices in the side window a really creepy guy, all white face, black suit, and the eyes are ringed in black. Really super scary. Just looking at her in the window, in the car as she's driving by. Mary goes off the road and she's like, what just happened? Super, super weird. She gets to the town and she lives in this boarding house. It's only her and this other guy. And the guy is like a real creep. He tries so hard to hit on her. And it's just like, it's very uncomfortable to watch because he's really pushing himself and Mary's like trying to ignore him. And then like eventually in the movie, she's like, I've had enough of you, like go away. And he like gets really super mad at her that she like rejects him. Anyways, Mary is going about her business. At some point she's in the store, in a clothing store, and she's trying on clothes, and all of a sudden everything just stops. She doesn't hear any noises. It's like when you have an earache or if something was just really loud and it's like, you know, you just don't hear anything. It's almost like you're in your own head and you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, you know, you're looking around. So Mary starts going around and she's like, oh yes, here's the dress to the salesperson. I'm going to take this dress. But the person like totally ignores her. Everybody around her just totally ignores her. It's like she's not even there. It happens again and she totally freaks out and you all find why this happens to Mary. And the ending is really, really good. That's all I'm gonna give you about Carnival of Souls because it is such a good movie. I do not want to spoil anything for you. I can't do that. You have to go watch this movie. First time I ever watched Carnival of Souls was like years and years ago, and I remember just really liking it because it was super creepy. Like that face that Mary sees in like, you know, just in her peripheral, and then like, it's scary. It's just looking at her. And then all of a sudden, when she's in her room in the boarding house, the face is in the freaking window. That is like one of my worst effing nightmares of like just, you know, turning around and seeing like somebody staring at you. So I was like, this movie's great because it freaked me out. And, you know, it was so simple. The technology was just so simple. There was no special effects besides, if you want to count the makeup, which really wasn't like, you know, the special effects that we have today, or they can put rubber and silicone on you and everything. It was just white paint, black paint around the eyes, you know, a suit, a regular man's suit, and this guy just staring at her like, I'm gonna come get you. And, you know, they had other, I guess ghouls, you can call them, other like creepy people. I just call them the creepy people. They had other ones like that, and they were like genuinely scary. Though, like, oh my god, you know, eventually Mary goes to the bathhouse and she sees all these creepy people. I'll give that away. And you're like, oh, like for me, it was just so creepy. And what really creeped me out is that there is a building on my way to work that it's a church. But the land in front of it is very sparse, like the bathhouse. So every time I see that building to and from work, I'm like, oh, Carnival of Souls. And I'm like, I wonder if there's any like creepy people in there. Of course there isn't, but you know, my movie brain goes to that. So you know a movie is good when it sticks with you and it makes you see something that's not horror, you know, not movies, and something in real life, and you're like, oh, of Carnival of Souls, oh, I saw, you know, this reminds me of a movie, it creeps me out. And I love that. I love that Carnival of Souls, which was definitely not the best acted movie whatsoever. It was really excellently directed. It was like very much a B movie, and the budget was like nothing, but it was just done like perfectly, you know, between all the shots of like the creepy guy looking in the windows and just being like everywhere, and when Mary starts, you know, like just not existing, I guess you can say, and it just, I have nothing but praise for Carnival of Souls. And actually, Carnival of Souls is one of those B movies that has the honor of being on the Criterion Collection, and that is what Paul had originally commented on. He said, oh, I noticed in your Criterion hauls that you don't have Carnival of Souls. Well, I got it quite a few years ago on DVD before it was out on the Criterion, but I think Paul has definitely put fire under my butt to pick this movie up on the Criterion just so that I can have a really nice copy of it. So there was my review of Carnival of Souls. It was definitely more of a ramble than a review, but if you like this ramble / review in any way, please give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below if you have seen Carnival of Souls. It is also on YouTube, so I will leave a link down below if you haven't and you're interested in seeing it. I'd like to know what you guys think, and also in the comments if you have any suggestions of what I should watch, be them classic movies or newer movies. Leave those there, and if I pick your movie and I watch it, you guys could be like Paul and you can get a shout out. Who doesn't like a shout out? And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for future Let's Get Reelz movie reviews and classic movie Thursday reviews, because that is what I like to do here. And as always, keep watching movies and stay absolutely fabulous.